Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. Please let me know if you can hear me. I'm in a different situation. We moved. Finally, we are settled into a new place. We're really happy to be here. Um, it's been a really strange and awesome journey. I'm still echoing in this room because it's kind of empty in here. Um, anyway, uh, for since November 1st, we've been guests. We've been guests, and it's been awesome to get to have these places to be. And I'm very grateful. My daughter and I both very grateful and for the experience and the reset. But we're also happy that this part of the reset's settling, and so it's been really good. Um, anyway, so we're back. I'm back. I'm back to a lot of the stuff that I was doing before, being in the settled place. So welcome, everybody. There's been a lot of extra experiences lately. As a lot of you know, we had some really cool energy coming in from the sun recently, and people are still making videos about it and talking about it. Like, they're like, oh, wow, look. It's really cool to see all these people coming into awareness, into this awakening experience in some level, across the board. So that's really been beautiful to see. Before I forget, I talked to my brother Carmen earlier, which I probably have him a comment from earlier because I haven't gotten to look at when you guys post or comment on the video before I actually go live. It doesn't show up for me in these comments, so I have to go over here. But when I was talking with him just briefly, he was saying the same thing. I grabbed the wrong one. Where's my thing? Am I live? Okay, that's weird. How come I can't find it? Anyway, mouth. That's what he and I were speaking about. There's some weird stuff going on with the mouth, not just sensation, which is something we're having, but also strange taste. Like, it's been a really weird thing. I don't really care for the taste. He had described it as almost alcoholic, and I would say like a ammonia kind of almost smell to it. I don't know. It's very subtle, very, very, very weird. So a higher frequency of experience. I had some visitation last night, and a lot of people did. My daughter did as well, from a different room. And there's just been a lot more of this awareness, understanding kind of stuff. Though many people seem to be the most common thing people are experiencing right now has to do with dizziness and tiredness. A lot of, hey, I just saw a comment about that. I'm not in the order that it was written, but I'm going to grab it. Thank you, Flix Love. Gums, jaw, dizzy, Kundalini, major activation on fire. This has been a really common Kundalini. Some people are reporting it as only at first. I would say that they're learning to understand what it is. Root chakra kind of stuff. Some root chakra activations. Root is not only what we're experiencing, though many of us don't notice that it's also sacral, and often in like a partnership of a trinity of some kind. Also the solar plexus. This is like, what's interesting about the solar plexus is because it's connected to the esophagus, it's also the throat chakra. It's also connected to the throat chakra in a very direct way. So if you know that, sometimes it's easier to do the thing. So Carmen was first, by the way. I just looked on my phone for the comments that I missed before I came on. Yeah, there's Carmen's comment. Metallic, alcohol taste in my mouth, and heat sensation like just came to a tropic country and the heat wave hit my body. Yeah, dude. I'm having a hard time telling. So it's good to have this thank you, because I'm living in the South now. I'm in the South proper, technically. And so here, it's been summer as far as we're concerned for like 2 months, as far as we're concerned. The levels of temperatures that are coming in right now, I'm kind of getting to experience, because I've been seeing a lot of things about us breaking records for months. So it's likely not common. However, for us, the temperature that it is right now is usually it's July. And so we've been watching it slowly. And therefore, I don't have a very good measuring stick. So it's good to hear that. I should take this comment off. Thank you so much, Flix Love. for your comment. I'm going to check some more for Ascension Symptoms because there's a high frequency. Okay, so Edward, I would like to, I don't think it came up on this one. Yeah. Edward says, I would like to say that the first half of the day is weird. I did a couple of errands and my inner voice said to go back home and do not engage with the others. It's very strange. This is actually in alignment with a lot of us. It's fascinating. So we call, me and my daughter, this is a family holiday that we've celebrated for 6 years. And she actually was 9 years and 9 months old exactly on the holiday on Friday. This is Freedom Day, is what we call this day. And right before it, though, I would say at the end of it, in most intensely, the exhaustion is something different than the kind of exhaustion I'm used to using that word for. It's just like, don't want to, don't have to, but like not like a defiant energy of it. It's just like, I'm good. Like I'm just good, just being, and like not having to push myself very much. We didn't have technically not very much to move in here, right? We didn't have a lot of things to unpack. We left most of the bulk of our collection of stuff behind when we moved, though. I've let myself slowly unpack. Like there's still probably 3 boxes of, not boxes, but suitcases of stuff that could be, put someplace. And it's okay. Just letting yourself just be, like, let yourself take your time. There is a lot of this, like, slow and steady tortoise kind of energy, and the not peopling thing. I'm totally on board. I totally get what you're saying, dude. I was from Edward, I believe. Yeah, Edward. I'm feeling that too. And you don't have to. If you don't have to, then you don't have to. Then don't. I meant to say. Exhaustion. Oh, let's grab this one. Susan. Hi, good to see you. Exhaustion, dry mouth, cried very deeply for the last couple of days. So the tear thing, this is something that I experienced too. It's like, I would say for me, in my experience, it was real subtle, but deep. Like you were mourning a loved one, but it was not on the surface like it typically has been historically when those types of things occur. It was, and it just enough that it felt like it was only on the tip of my tongue, if that makes any sense. So just and then the dry mouth, the mouth stuff is really weird. I can say that I've been guided, by a lot of different individuals now too, every time that I've said this. Though initially it was spirit came in and said, drink some salt water. And though this is for you to use your own discernment, because I know that drinking large quantities of salt water usually lead to regurgitation, vomiting, things like that. So a little bit though doesn't hurt you at all. In fact, so what I'll do is I'll like rinse with salt water, and then I'll drink some of it at the end. And this mouth stuff is just gone for a moment enough that I feel release and relief, So we do right now. This is something that's correct or true for every one of us in some way. Salt and water are at a higher need than has been historically speaking in this lifetime. So salt water is just, a cocktail of the two, and allowing yourself to, use your own discernment, understand what your body needs. The reason that these things are so useful right now, for one, we are actually purging quite a lot through our pores. That's why we're getting this weird acne, this weird skin, tingly, itchy kind of stuff. You'll notice that you'll have like these, almost, you could call them a pustule or you can call them acne, but they just don't really fit those words very well. What was told me by spirit, and that makes so much sense after, I'm like, of course it is. Because I was like, what is up with this? Like, I've been asking for a while, give me a different word. And then finally I asked the question better, and I said, what is this stuff? I lost connection for a moment there. We're using a hotspot right now. I moved into a new place that doesn't hasn't ever had internet, and they're installing it. It just takes a little while to get it set up. So if I disappear again, I will be back. Anyway, what the answer was is what it is that's coming out of our pores is dehydrated sweat, because sweat is the vessel, the vehicle that carries what needs to be purged out of our body through our pores to the surface of our skin. And that's why the sweat has changed. That's why, I don't know if you've all noticed this, but over, I would say about a year now, I've been really aware of it, is that it just feels different, and it's different. It's not the texture, it's weird, and that's because it's carrying more of whatever it is that your body's done with now, and so higher need for salt, and then also water for not only that purpose, but also because plasma moves through that which is more higher quantities of water. It moves through water better. Light glows where water grows. That's not how it's said. Light glows where water flows. There we go. That was the message from a while ago that's come through a bunch of different times. This has also to do with what water is about for us right now. Is we're in rapid healing time. We may not realize or feel like what we're doing is healing, but we are. We're coming into a more correct alignment in yourself, in your energetic body, in this place that we are now. So this is really a good thing. So keeping this in mind, that more water, more salt, using your own discernment for your body and understanding what's needed and useful for you. Get a chance to, I'm just going to move through very quickly and then grab the Ascension Symptoms and those types of Ask Love, Flicks Love. Hello, Jackie. Good to see you. Vegan Vix is here. Christina, hello. Nice to see you too. We're going to figure this out. I just barely got settled. So eventually, in the very near future, we're going to do this conversation. It would have been perfect to do it last Wednesday, but we were moving. So it just didn't work out. And it worked out good for me because I needed that time. So hello, Kenny. Good to see you, sweetie. Eric's here. Susan. She says, so happy I found you live today. I am very info, especially on Ascension Symptoms. I have so many. Yes, they're increasing right now. Most people are noticing a higher frequency and variety of Ascension Symptoms right now. And what's most useful to do is to mention them, to say them out loud to somebody and to see how many people say me too. It's really useful. And so you can do this also in our Telegram group. For those of you who aren't part of that, the link is in the description of this video, either above this in Facebook and in YouTube. It's in the description. This link will take you. It's considered a private group, so you can't like browse to find it. You need the link. If the link doesn't work, that's happened to people before, please let me know. Why do I mention this? It's a community of it's nearing 500 people all over the world who also feel, have symptoms and things coming through for them, and the most useful thing I would say is that it doesn't matter what time of the day it is or night, we can say something out there, and there's also somebody else awake. People are joining in from all time zones across the globe. And so this allows, it doesn't feel correct to say globe. Isn't that funny? Anyway, so if you feel inclined, join our group. It's really cool. Path 88, hello. Went from feeling like I left my car onto a full-blown backup power generator. Feel like I left my car onto. I know that I know that what's been going on for a lot of us is these energy surges. And so maybe that's what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Went from feeling like I left my car. I bet the word car has been auto-corrected to something else. Onto a blown backup power generator. So like not having as much energy. I'm trying to translate. I'm sorry. That autocorrect is so frustrating, but also really interesting how it comes through. Freedom Day, that's right, Flicks Love. Vegan Vixen, yes, dry mouth, especially through the night. Yeah. Hello, Kylie, good to see you. Carolina, hello, good to see you, sweetie. Divine Feminine, rising. Hi, Mila and Soul family. Things have felt strange since the full moon. Yeah. Yeah, and they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger, and it's awesomer. Oh, we came up with a new word. I forgot. My daughter invents words, and most kids are doing this. The reason they're doing this is that the words that we're using, well, we're not going to be using words too much longer. Though the words that we're using don't describe what we're trying to say. We need to make a recipe. Take this word and this word and this word and make the word that's correct for it. And so I'll have to think of it and try to. Kylie says, I've been adding a tiny bit of salt to my water for the last 3 days. It's funny you say that. I'm so glad that you're doing that. So useful. Vegan Vixen, yes. It's like a profound feeling of loss and the sobbing. I know. It's really good. This is also a way we're losing salt too. It's really, it's okay. I know when I asked this question, because the tears, I wasn't somebody who cried like most of us. I would say a lot of us were raised in a way that kind of eliminated the feeling that crying was good or that there was something useful about it and weakness, blah, blah, blah. And I bought into that conditioning for a long time. Anyway, then and when I did cry, it would probably be once or twice a year, and it would cause such damage to my face. It looked like I got beat up in a boxing ring, swollen eyes, and just like a crying hangover. And then I started to cry very frequently. First it was sad, and then it was joy, and then it was all the time. And like I was like one of those, like my mom. And though she hurt anyway, the thing that I understood and came through was that this is a gift from the Pleiadians that the human has. This is a Pleiadian gift. It has something to do with this ability to transmute in such a natural way without really understanding fully what we're doing. We're doing it on autopilot, transmuting and purging and releasing. Think about how many people you've heard about being so angry that they cry because they're just holding the emotion in. So it has to come through. It has to come out. And if it's not released, it will find its way, and often if an individual is able to stop themselves from even expressing emotion this way, then it'll contort and turn into other things, other types of dis-ease. And so it's very fascinating. Thank you for the comment, Vegan Vixen. Good to see you. Marty Ann says, wherever I have pain, it has intensified. I'm trying to accept it and say move through me with grace and ease. That's exactly the best way to do. Me too. When that comes through is, I see you, I feel you, you're real. Goodbye. Thank you for what you've done for me. I release you. I'm giving you an avenue. It's kind of like releasing a spirit or a soul or whatever it is that people used to call it. Ghosts. I think they used to call them ghosts. It's kind of funny. They always used to say, go to the light. And then they were sending them to y'all. We're the light. And so that's why we had so many energies coming to us before as a younger age, and it's starting to happen again more frequently. Many people are reporting this. And I'm noticing a higher frequency too. It's not just the location I'm in either. This is throughout the place, different places we go. Vanya's here. Hello, Vanya. Weird sleeping patterns and strange feeling of surroundings. Yeah. Like I'm here, but it's all new and different. Have we shifted? Yeah, there's been a couple of shifts, and we're still shifting. It's past, present, and future tense, all of it. And all of what we're doing is all of it. And it's going to continue to be that way for some time. It's good. There was some type of a reset that had occurred in September that began then. And then there was one in October and into November that really extended a lot of things. And then November 1st for us, was the beginning of a different type of reset. When we were in the air in the airplane, there was an energy bloom that happened, like a mushroom of energy that occurred, mushroom cloud of energy that occurred while we were in the air, and we felt it and didn't know what had happened until we landed. And then there was the reset, a couple of weeks later. And then there's been so many different, what we call resets, though the most profound and, the one that many people are experiencing at this current moment, the most, started March 4th. That particular one has an echo to it that goes through into September and October, depending on the individual that you're talking to. And so The answer is yes, and then yes. The reset shift that we are talking about right now that most people noticed um, happened this weekend. It's still the weekend, I suppose. It's Sunday still. It's a long weekend for getting frustrating. Thank you for sticking around with me as my hotspot lets me do what this streaming. It's not as great as the internet's going to be once it's finally hooked up. So anyway, so here we are. The reset that occurred is happening also through what we're having as a holiday. People were day off of work in most places, a bank holiday they call it, tomorrow. And so this particular day, a lot of people have been pointing at having to do with some systems going and leaving slowly. And they've been doing that already. It's just happening more. And so we're feeling it and noticing it and feeling the energy of it. As we release each hair, it's kind of like hi Tor. It's like a pulling away hair after hair of roots, because and one hair at a time needs to be released. As we do that, we can start to feel it more and more and realize the energy we're standing in or existing within. Hi, Julie, coming in for a good break from gardening. I'm so glad you're out there gardening. It's so useful to ground in this way. Balance is healthy body. Yes, Randy. Balance. This is, and sometimes balance is a gentle pendulum. Just like the divine masculine, the divine feminine energy, we find that the most balance is not one or the other, right? It's not even really in the middle. It's a conversation between the two. It's a give and take. It's a back and a forth, a reiki of energy. And so this balance, we're learning, all of us are learning that has to do with accepting all of these things in as they move through. Thanks so much. Oh, love you, Susan. Path 88, my mantra when things get heavy, you're bad A. You choose this and we're approved. I repeat it until I feel better. Yeah, you really are. I get you. You're saying no. I am always feeling this way too, dude. You really do kick ass. Like this is all of you, all of you. Only those who were of the highest frequency, most capable, most equipped, most capable and able to do what you're doing came. Like I know a lot of you have this memory. I'm not the only one. Like there's nothing really unique about me. We're all together in this. We're all the same. And many of us have this memory of the volunteer time. It was like, who's coming? And I don't have any energy saying that there was really anyone who didn't raise their hand. Then we're talking about a countless number of energies. And we were the ones who were picked. We were the ones that were chosen to come here because you're capable. You're able to do this. You've ascended planets before. That's why we're here. We're doing it in order to do it. This planet needed it. It needed some help. It was most noticeable. It just, throughout all of what we call history. Jacqueline, hi everyone. Greetings from London. I have a double rainbow outside my window right now. Oh, that's so cool. That was like 15 minutes ago. I wonder if it's still there. Hi, Janet. Good. So, Mila, so good to be here. Yes. Radical acceptance frequencies, jumping timelines and foundation, timeline jumping. Oh man. And dimensions. We're learning how to shift from one dimensional frequency to another. Kenny, good to see you. It's so crazy how we can do it. It's like as soon as an outcome, it's like that video game where just before, if you foresee the thing that's going to happen before it actually impacts, if you push a button and somehow reset, you start back 30 seconds or something. I don't know. Something's happening like that. And then time is able to be, you find the most advantageous dimension, timeline, space to be in. And as we do that, we're closing these other ones. There's ends. There's an ending of some kind occurring as we move. Julie, the mind seems to be in the way. Must be why it's hard to speak and think clearly. Yeah. You know what? Vocabulary has been such a joke for me lately. Vocabulary and there's so much happening simultaneously. Like as we're talking, I'm getting downloaded. I'm getting my own kind of activation that's occurring. And as a result, I'm very distracted too. I'm noticing that. And, I'm trying to bring in, because then there's energies that just want to talk just for the sake of talking. And then there's some with actual messages that, I'm trying to bring through. So it just depends on, and so I'm finding myself to be like that working in a daycare kind of for the toddler room. That was my first job. I was the lead toddler teacher, and um, it's kind of like that where you have like 9 toddlers, and you want every one of them to be heard. And then you're also trying to decide which one is in danger, which one needs to be spoken out first. And anyway, and that causes so much distraction for me that Tam, huge pressure in the back of my head, feels like it will explode. This is really, really common. Okay. The answer that we got for that. This also has to do with clearing of the mouth, the throat chakra area. So a lot of us, when we pull in the light from God, a lot of us will visualize it going to the heart center. Hey, 111 people watching right now between YouTube and Facebook. Either the heart chakra, usually the crown chakra is one of the first things that we start to do. This guidance is to bring it into the throat chakra from the back. So bringing in a funnel of loving, awesome light from God through the back of your neck, just right there at the very bottom of your head and through your neck. And let this portal of energy move through the entirety so your throat chakra is like, it's big. And so it blooms out and like, it's like almost like a funnel. I don't remember what it's like, an upside down. Anyway, allowing that to move out and through, you're noticing as you're doing this, the expansion that's occurring. Many of us have been functioning under the space of having our throat chakra in a very small, narrow passageway, when in fact our throat chakra does actually thrive in the diameter of the heart chakra. And then, as many of us know, the heart chakra takes up the vast majority of our torso, and so too does the throat. So as we send this light through, you start to notice all these different layers. Like one of those, my little brother used to suck on them all the time. I love this example, but I can't remember. Jawbreaker, those big candies with 18,000 different layers, and they would just lick it for like a million years. And every time you went over to visit, there's like more layers of color. This is kind of what's happened. We've piled up all of this resistance, all of this stopping ourselves from speaking, from being our authentic selves, these kinds of things as a result of a variety of different things that we're moving through and unconditioning. And as we do, the layers get released. So you're breathing out this light through, first breathing in through your nose as you pull in the light from God, and then breathing out through your mouth. You're noticing that it's taking things that don't serve you with it. And this really helps. You can do this as often as you like too. I typically will visualize, I'll just naturally see it as like a sky blue mixed with white, kind of a marbling, almost like this kind of thing. But though it can be whatever color is correct for you. The light of God is usually white or golden white, but though it can be any color. I believe very strongly what you visualize is correct. So I hope this helps you, Tam. Eric, love and hugs from Alaska. So good to be here and connect to the Vibe Tribe. We had your Northern Lights in the South, man. That was really funny. I was really entertained by that. We started calling them the Southern Lights. That's so cool. You're in Alaska right now. A lot of cool things going on over there right now. Be interested to hear if you know. Oh, sorry. This was a comment to somebody else. Vegan, the feeling of loss comes with the deep need to go home. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Many energies are doing this, and most of us are realizing that we are. What's fascinating is that, as many of you know, my first near-death experience was when I was 4. And after that time was when everyone else seemed to notice anyway, that I started to talk to those who had passed and started to have those types of experiences. What's fascinating about this is that typically right before someone dies, and then also probably about a week or so after they die, they're very accessible. They are just readily available and present. And then there's often after that, 5 or more years where you really won't see them very much. They're doing something. They went somewhere, and then they come around on occasion. What's changed is they're not going anywhere. And I'm like, what's this about? And the answer is that because we're aware they're going. We are now currently energetically in the planet. We as a population are where they go. And so they're still available. They're still everywhere. And so technically we are bringing heaven to earth is another way to say it. You're the rainbow bridge. And that feeling that just ready to be done and just go home is because it's like when you see your mailbox when you're a kid and you're on the road too long and you're just like, oh, we're home. It's right before. It's that I'm just ready to be there. I'm just done. And we are. You're and this is getting so I'm sorry. Um, I hope that message came through clear enough. Vegans need vitamin B12 supplements. I do agree. There's a lot of different things that I don't use supplements of any kind, and that's everybody's up to everybody's. I don't use any kind of pill or any kind of. I don't. My body doesn't like the vessel that any of this is carried on. I know there's a lot of different um, things that say that they're better, but my body says no. And so the only time that I will ever take anything like that is, wow, like it's incredibly rare. So I don't supplement, no. But I do agree that finding B12 in the natural world more than usual is a good idea. Kenny, no, it's all temporary. Acknowledge and release with love. Please keep in mind anything that I say is about my experience. I'm not, y'all do what you need to do. You know what I mean? It's just my body says no. And so I'm learning to listen to her after having not listened to her most of my life. I didn't actually do this, but this is an example I use. Is that at an earlier point in my life, when I was thirsty and my body was asking for water, a lot of times I would do something like, having a powdered donut. I used to tell that story and people look at me. I didn't do that, but I did that. I took those antacids instead of saying, "Oh, my body doesn't like that food." I said, "You'll just get used to it," and I just forced my body to eat certain things because I wanted to. And so, and then after now, I'm listening to my body. At first, I had to, in order to have that conversation open, allow her to trust me because she was like a neglected child and didn't have a reason to trust me. Your body will tell you what you need, though these suggestions are really good to consider. Everyone's different. Susan, shifting seems to be a process, not an event, which makes sense. Yeah. If it's to be lasting, it needs to be gradual. All things that are gradual, all things in spirit are gradual. Actually, all things in spirit are gradual. We get these stories and we are getting the cliff notes from spirit. Spirit's not telling us, and then on Tuesday and then on Wednesday, they're saying this thing's going to happen. So, and many people will interpret that as one big event. And there's like this, oh no. And truly in the timeline of your life, this past 4 or 5 so years, 7 years, you can keep going back if you'd like to. Though, there's been a lot that's happened in a very short amount of time. In that window of time, there have been more once in a lifetime astrological events than is possible to count any longer. It became such a funny thing. Every time I hear it, I just laugh. And now it's just, so this is all meant to be gradual. If it's to be lasting, it's to be gradual. It's meant to be gradual. All activity is constant shifting. All things in the universe, the only constant in the universe is change, right? So it's always moving and always in motion. That's why it's emotion, to release this emotion rather than keeping it ourselves. That's why we're learning to do this. Divine feminine rising, the reset seem to be getting closer and closer together. Yes, they do. And they will. Before I forget to mention, there's a really awesome event occurring on the 3rd of June, which is just a very short, it's like a week or so. I'm not sure what day of the month that is. Let me quickly look. This is going to be, that's next Monday. So not Monday coming, not tomorrow, but a week from that day. There is a lot for the Northern Hemisphere. There is the parade of planets. There's also, and I've been getting for a while that we're going to be getting some pretty awesome geomagnetic energy coming in, solar energy coming in on that particular day too. And there's no way to point this out to prove anything. It just is. And so this is the message I'm getting. I understand it to be a really good energy day, though again, it's not an event. It's just one of the many events that are getting closer and closer together. It's really cool. Yeah, I enjoy the mini shifts too. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so cool. Path 88, excited to see the beauty that's going to come after all this shakeup and purging. Yeah, it's actually it's already starting to become viewable, visible in some way. It's just, it's requires for me anyway to focus and to see it, to be in a place of appreciation in my heart at all times. This is like a different understanding, a broader or something understanding of gratitude, is this appreciation of all things, including self. Look what you've done for yourself. Hey, what have you done for yourself today? If we haven't taken a moment to do that, maybe consider taking that moment now. Vegan Vixen, my left ear is now getting the most odd noise. It's not ringing, whooshing, or I've been getting that whooshing or clicking. It's a loud thudding every now and again, also off balance. Yeah, I've been getting that. It's very, every time that I get what you're talking about, for me, it's like a thud or a heartbeat. You would think that it might be your pulse, and I actually will check my pulse. It's like, well, that's not my pulse. And then something happens. Something cool happens. Like there's an energy that presents itself, which is usually a teacher of some kind they're coming. Who are coming forward right now are the teachers who bring the most comfort. So if we are not in a place of comfort, where we feel safe, then the message will not be heard like it could. And so that's why that occurs. Many people will see certain symbols, religious symbols, or whatever resonates with that individual in this place of safety the most, will step forward to assist you to receive that new understanding. Danielle, I was wondering if there are more people who can't sleep until 3 or 4 a.m. I've done this the last few weeks. Yeah, well, definitely on board there. Last night we went to bed surprisingly early, meaning I was in bed around midnight. This doesn't usually happen lately. Lately, I'm up until 3, 4. It's really cool to be in my own apartment. I can stay up as late as I want now, meaning, I'm not, because I want to be polite. When I was living in this other place, some of the individuals there woke up around the time that I would normally I'd be going to bed when, 3 or 4:30. Anyway, and it's been something that's really weird because my body's tired. It's really funny. I'm like having this argument with my body. Like there's the adult me going, you should go to bed. Your body's tired. And I'm just like tears streaming because I'm yawning so much. And I'm just like fighting through it. Because I'm like, then there's a little kid part of me that's like, I don't want to go to bed yet. It's really weird. That's really strange. So I don't know. I'm always awake at 3 a.m. Jim says, yeah. So if I happen to be asleep by 3 a.m., I'm awake at 3 a.m. I've been waking up around 4:44 a lot. I don't usually see the time until it's 4:44. And I find that it doesn't matter. Like sometimes I'm not going to look. And then I'll look. It's like 4:44. When I finally do look, it's like, and then I'm ready to go to bed. I need to see that activation, and it's fascinating. This has typically been called the witching hour. Between the hours of around 2 and 4 is kind of, 3 o'clock is very specific though. 3 a.m., 3 in the morning. And this is known for many different reasons to be when the veil is the thinnest. So the frequencies can come through and assist you more, be seen, be understood, have interactions more. And so, yeah, 4 a.m. meditation is amazing. If you do, by the way, thank you for bringing this up, Tim. if you do happen to have one of these moments where you're abruptly awakened when you wake up quickly, um, and at that time is a good time to meditate. Totally, you'll get so much download. Many of us will be like, "Don't mess with my sleep. I'm tired," and choose not to engage. Though always you have a light team of some type presenting themselves at that time. They're the ones that helped you wake up to say, hey, something just happened or something's happening. Do you want to engage? Do you want to participate? That kind of thing. So this going into meditation at that time is saying, okay, sure, I'll accept this one at this time. And typically they don't last very long, though they feel like they do. Like the types of downloads I'll get feel like I've been on adventures for 5 hours or more. And then, it's may have been 10 or 15 minutes. Really cool stuff. Amanda, my son has been making up words too, new saying, what the sigma to everything all day long. That's awesome, Amanda. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, it's just, there needs to be more understand something. If we're going to use words, then the words that we use has a desire. The words have a desire to have a deeper and more understandable meaning. Hotspot, just so those of you who are just joining, hotspot right now, I'm using a hotspot and the internet's not all the way set up. We just moved. So I will be coming back if I disappear each time. Anyone hear of Tesla's nav system showing people/spirits when driving through a cemetery? Tesla is opening minds and hearts. That's very fascinating. That's kind of cool too. Divine Feminine Rising. Has anyone else noticed an upgrade where the spine meets the skull? Yeah. So I've always called this the dream chakra. This is, I know it's like the mouth of God or the voice of God or something like that. Someone told me there's an official name for it, though. I've always called it the dream chakra because this is where our soul enters our body, or it's like the appendage kind of connects into our body. This activation spot right now is happening for a lot of individuals. And so if you heard the earlier ramble, I think I eventually got to my point talking about breathing in the light of God through your nose and letting it, noticing the light go through the back of your neck in that same spot you're talking about, and then watching it funnel and bloom and become bigger as you breathe out through your mouth, and like encompassing this whole area does an awesome clearing in this and does help. Something else I've been having happen for some time now, starting very specifically in October, was it feels like pressure, but not uncomfortable pressure, just someone's touch. It's a nice energetic touch. Like I know it's a higher being of some kind, touching like right below the ears on the head there, on both sides, and lifting. And then you feel like your spine aligned, and it's almost like the most gentle chiropractor. It's really cool. And more we're noticing ourselves to be more taller in some way. It's very fascinating. So let's see. Are we there yet? And I know, I feel the same way. We're there. We are there, and we're getting there. Yeah. When we're in the car as the kid and you're seeing your mailbox, exactly it's happening right now. So weary from the long journey, looking forward to going home, says Janet. Yeah. I mean, so many of us have been looking forward to what we've called the vacation planet, like when we're going to get our vacation planet, and then last March, many of us, was it last March? I have lost track of time. It's easy to do that already, but then especially right now when we've had so many changes in location of places where we sleep, is, I don't know how long ago, but there was are you sure, do you want to keep doing this kind of a thing that happened, and everybody got it. It was like a choice point, a global choice point. It happened not last March, but the March before that, as well as this March. This particular one was more of, many of us were kind of accepting of, okay, you know what, I can be done. It's okay. And as a result, releasing, not acting on this or not doing something, though allowing ourselves to to release the things that don't serve us in this way. Like we did it. Like I did it. I went live around that time. I think it was the 4th. It might have been the 3rd of March. And, just as this acceptance of the possibility of being done came through, then all of a sudden elevation started to occur in a rapid way. And a lot of people had this. There were people who chose at that choice point on March 4th that they are done, like all the way done. And they really, for real, are done. They're done. And when that occurred, many people actually did pass that week. And many have been slowly on their way out ever since. Some of these individuals who chose to no longer be here will have a few more months before they do, because everybody has the length of time that they are needed to be here before they go. Then the rest of us who kind of just accepted it without any kind of real drive or desire or whatever. By the way, if there was a choice made, it can be unmade. If just so you know, it's kind of cool how that's done. What am I talking about is that when that occurred, then it allowed for us to release the things that weren't serving us, that were keeping us kind of bound. And then elevation started to occur. The one that happened the March before that, was when I understood the number of hundreds of years that some of us could stay here, and how many of us, having wished for, cannot wait for that vacation planet that we were bound for, accepted this role, this being here for, hundreds of years. And that's going to be fascinating to see that unfold and see what that looks like, as we progress forward in the length of what we call time. Divine feminine rising. My vessel doesn't like supplements either. Yeah, everybody's different, and some people, it's very obvious if they don't allow themselves to take the supplements, and it's needed by them. I've been able to access, and there's a lot of really cool natural things, and not simply things that you'll get at the grocery store, but also like that you could forage, and you don't even need to be in a foresty place to forage a lot of these kinds of things. Being aware of what they can help you with, teas and herbs and different modalities of accepting that into your body. It doesn't have to be tea it doesn't need always to be drank. You can do this as a foot soak. It absorbs into your body very well this way. Some of these herbs and things can also be smoked. I'm not talking about smoking herb. I'm talking about, like mullein and things like that for upper respiratory clearing. And there's a lot of different ways to do this, so. And some people don't want to be bothered by all that. And that's okay too. There's some really cool natural remedies that are out there that I'm learning more and more about. Hi, Danita. Hi, Pamela. Just wanted to say hi. I hope everything is going great for you. Yeah, it's been so awesome. So happy to be here. Love and hugs to you as well. Yeah, it's been really awesome. All of this has been amazing. Oh, when Danielle posted this, there was 111 viewers. That's a good sign from the universe. That's awesome. Right now it's 127. 27 is my number. Every time there's a 27 in it, it's usually, something that I need to pay attention to. Keep forgetting to eat. Tim says, yeah. So this is a thing for a lot of us. We're having appetite, differences. We're noticing our appetite shifting and changing. I'll go for periods where I just don't have an appetite. I could actually have, physical sensation of hunger. Just nothing seems like something I want. And then other times I'm getting my grub on, you know what I mean? And so I can say that usually around a 3-day window of time before activation, energetic activation, global activation, or even localized one, my body will naturally stop eating. And I don't even really notice it because I do what's called intermittent fasting. It's a natural thing that I found. And then eventually I found out there's a word for what I do. I've never liked breakfast. And eventually I let myself not have to eat it. It always made me feel ill. I didn't feel good for hours after. And then very quickly I began to omit lunch. And, so I usually eat more than enough calories, maybe I'll have 2 dinners kind of a thing. But it's easy to not notice it because I also tend to eat at a different time than my daughter, and so I'll go for sometimes days. One time I went 30 days and didn't even realize it until I started to pay attention. I didn't really lose that much weight during that time, but I did slim up a little bit. What had occurred, I was drinking tea and I was drinking juice, but very specifically orange juice. Oh, hey, by the way, look at my cup this time. We don't have any glasses yet, but so I got Yoda. This is my orange juice today. And then, I didn't eat lots of water. And then I looked back and found out it had been a whole month. This wasn't too long ago. Though this isn't usually how it goes. Typically, it's just a couple of days or so. It certainly is a gradual process, but since May 10th, wow, we are in a brand new space. Yeah. Sometimes it's just undeniable. There's a lot more coming through too. I'm really excited. It's really cool. The more that we kind of stand in this energy, the more we realize, hi, Yolanda, it's so good to see you. I should send you a message soon. It's really, I don't remember what I was saying. Yolanda, I love you. And when you came in, you just reminded me of something. Yeah. To sit. Maybe I should move my computer next time. I'm like I rearranged the room here because it's more comfortable to have the office. My bedroom's big, so half the bedroom is the office and half is a bedroom. Though I'm really far away from the hotspot, so we'll figure that out for our next live streaming. So thank you for being patient as I disappear on and off. Linda, sleep patterns are up and down at the minute. Also, a couple of times I've woken up. I've woken to some beautiful music in my dreams. Can't remember dreams, just the music, which felt spiritual, like healing music. That's really cool. It's really cool that you're having retention of this. More and more people are reporting this as well. Being able to bring in these energies of the dream and then have recollection when there hadn't been before. Also, I'm remembering dreams from childhood that I don't know if I really forgot. I just didn't think of or something, but they're coming through as if I just had them. It's really fascinating. My daughter woke this morning and said that an angel came to her last night and said that she must open the lock to find the key. And I was like, wow, that's really a cool one. It's fun to hear the different words people use to describe the energies that present themselves to help them. So everybody sees a different being, but technically it's all you. It's all us. Danielle, hi Pamela. I'm noticing my skin look better and little wrist injury is gone after 14 years. Awesome. Yeah, I had a pretty profound break in my foot that didn't never heal the right way, and that had just re-healed. That is really crazy. We're doing this stuff. Yeah. Oh, something else about skin, since you bring it up, Danielle, has to do. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I had a good friend named Danielle that spelled it this way. Anyhow, the skin that's there's a lot of peeling. People are peeling, and this isn't to do with sunburn or anything like this. Some people are, though, having this happen in order to help the peeling occur, I'm sure, as well as other types of things like bites or whatever. Though what I found really fascinating is that the peeling, every one of us, supposedly our whole body will peel off, have a seasonal peeling of your skin every 7 years. And that's considered a full life cycle. However, for some reason, we're doing it off cycle where everybody's peeling and bringing in some new skin. There's a lot of stuff about this. The more we realize that we're purging, the more well, as we purge, we create space and a place for energy to sit, right? And so if we have that space occupied by something that perhaps takes up um, that space that could be used for something that would be in more alignment with you, now that's leaving and making that available, if that makes any sense. That was kind of a ramble. Kenny, guided to slow down on a walk, could feel my energy. Woman said thank you. I acknowledged it and was a thank you from the universe. Then an angelic man walked with me. His card said test. Wow. That's a really cool message. Thank you, Kenny, for sharing that. Wow, that's really cool. Seeing that this is a profound experience is what I'm always most proud of first when I read something like that. Proud for you that you're seeing it, noticing it. And then you get to see that it's even wow. And then you look into it and see it's even deeper. Susan said, I heard that the last 7 years of revelation began August 2017. My life took a big turn than anyone else. Thank you for bringing this up, Susan. Many people. So August 21st, 2017, this particular day was the first of that crossing that we have been celebrating of the solar eclipse. When this happened was when everything turned all the way on, even those things that we had been pushing snooze on. I know I had been ignoring a lot of stuff, just being in the moment. I was in a I was in a difficult relationship at the time, and it was most useful that for me to ignore those things. Then this happened. That particular day was 3 days before my daughter was 3 years old. And then she was 3 years and 9 months old when we were able to leave. And then every time, then I started to look back. I actually didn't, every profound experience happened that happened was something that I would like to talk about often over and over again over the years. Has her age is 3, 6, 9, 12 somewhere every time, whether it's weeks, months, years. And Friday, she was 9 years and 9 months old. And so that was another, and hey, it's 99 people. That's really cool. We just went down, and I like that number. Perfect timing for that comment. Yeah, I like that. 7 years of revelation. I like that. And so this other side, this April eclipse was not the end of it. It was the beginning of the next book, and so a lot of you may have been noticing, and again, all things in spirit are gradual. And so you noticed that the new book was slowly starting before the other one had the last page turned, if that makes any sense. So let's see. Hello from rainy Washington, says Tabitha. Wow, I was in Washington, though I was inland. I was kind of Spokane, much more north than that. I was almost Canada, almost Idaho. It's fascinating to be over here. I mean, it's 93, 94 degrees, somewhere in there. Right now, it's not even June yet. So it's going to be, we were used to, when we were living up there, it getting to, 115 degrees and breaking records and stuff. But yeah, I love the rain. I love the rain. The rain brings in cleansing, but it's also sad to not see the sun. So I like the sun too. Path 88, we love you, Mila. You're an internet trailblazer in your building. Oh, thank you. I love you too, very much. I love all of you. I mean, the experience that we've had over the course of the past several months has been amazing, absolutely amazing. And having you all along on this journey has been such an honor and such a joy. And the amount of support that you've all given us and shown us, the love, the appreciation, has been so beautiful and also slightly overwhelming in a beautiful way. I, just like most of you, have been typically that person that throughout my life, I I did it on my own. I did all things on my own, and I did it quietly enough that, I've always been the one that's telling the jokes in the circle and stuff. And you always have one or two friends that were spiritual enough to be open to these types of conversations. Though for the most part, you know, I frequented recovery groups for some time in order to find these too. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing there, is that I got to be in a place where people talked about spiritual things and learning about emotion. you know Anyone who's not ever been to a 12-step program, I'm not suggesting exactly anything or not, though some of their literature is fascinating because it, maybe not even the literature, but just I went to meetings for some time, and I learned that it's okay to identify your emotions. And that was how I learned that in my 20s, when I was dating people who were in there's a lot of things about this that we get to uncover. And this maturity of emotion that we're experiencing, we're finding out the emotion isn't ours at all. And by doing that, and as let me say that differently, how did this occur? Was by you all. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys connecting, saying me too, reaching back out, you know, being a family of light. It's been such an honor and such a joy. I'm I'm blessed to be in the position that I am, where I get to communicate with so many, where I get to go live and have conversations with so many people all at the same time, and joining in sessions and just connecting with so many beautiful people. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. Um, Allow yourself, if you can, over the next little while, um, to take time, rest. Allow yourself, if you can, to take more rest, more calm. You don't have to go to sleep. You don't have to, I'm not suggesting that, we cut the world off. Though in order to allow yourself to experience what's coming through and to fully embody it, to ground it, um, this is how it's most easily done, is in this what feels like daydreaming or uh, passively just resting, not quite sleeping, you know, allowing yourself to be okay taking a break. Sunspots on my skin disappear. Yeah, dude. If we could have time about like waiting for my teeth to grow back, repair. There's some teeth stuff going on for me. That's been really weird. It's not bad. It's good. It's just fascinating. Yes, we are blessed, and it's wonderful awakening. Love you all. Yeah, very blessed. All of us together in this beautiful family of light. So again, I just want to say thank you all of you, for your support and your loving kindness. Um, it's been an absolute joy, and I wouldn't change a single thing. I will be coming on more often. I'm also now I have more time. I have my time back, I guess is a way to say it. And so I'm going to be able to be creating more videos that are like the Ascension Symptom videos and stuff like that. There's just been a lot of stuff going on that's it's not been possible, but now it will. So thank you all. I have to get going, but I will be back. And next Wednesday, I have somebody. Oh goodness, I was meant to grab I usually have a desk calendar, but right now I don't have a desk. I'm sitting on the floor. Um, and so I don't remember who it is. Darn it. I have somebody that's joining me on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. We are going to have a great interview conversation. It's going to be awesome. Anyone who is interested in joining me on my show, I love allowing people to have a place to speak. I typically do not have, I know some people want to have a conversation like uh, uh, a Zoom meeting before or something, and that's not doable for me. So if you are ready, though, if you're ready to go on and just have a chat, I'm not going to ask you any questions that are going to put you in a corner. I'm very good at reading people. So if anybody has like the deer in the headlights thing starting, you won't stay there very long. So why am I saying this? Anyone who would like to share their story, to open their voice chakra, and to allow that to come through them, please contact me through email. My email is in the description of this video. I typically will not ever respond or read anyone's messenger stuff in Facebook. I do not use that. If you get contacted on Facebook Messenger, then it's a 99.999999 or more percent chance that it's somebody else, because there's a few people pretending to be me. I don't comment this way at all. I never look. The only time I go on Facebook these days is to try to like connect with people, but there's so many messages in my inbox. I literally spend 30 minutes, delete. I don't click them. I don't, because the frequency in my head and around my body on Facebook sounds like like all the whole time. And so I can't read and translate and understand what's been written, even if I do read it. So anyway, if you are looking to connect with me, to reach out to me, please send me an email. My email is in the link of this is linked in the description of this video. And I love you all so much. Thank you all for being in this journey. You got this. We're in the awesome part. This is the open the presence part. It's so cool. So you're not alone. And if you feel isolated in some way, connect perhaps through Telegram.